In 1959, 9 experienced hikers ventured into the Ural Mountains of Russia. They never returned. When search parties found their tent, it was ripped open from the inside. Their belongings were left behind, but the hikers were gone. What they found days later defies logic. Some were missing eyes, others had mysterious internal injuries, and their clothing showed traces of high radiation. Was it a military experiment, a natural phenomenon, or something otherworldly? Welcome back to Unknown. Today, we dive into the chilling abyss of the Dyatlov Pass. January 1959. The Ural Polytechnic Institute students embarked on what was supposed to be the winter adventure of a lifetime. Their goal, the remote and treacherous Mount Ottorn. But this was no ordinary hiking trip. It was a test of endurance, skill, and the human spirit. Leading this elite team was 23-year-old Igor Dyatlov. He was a seasoned, meticulous mountaineer who didn't take chances. Joining him were Yuri Doroshenko, Lyudmila Dubinina, Yuri Krivonishenko, Alexander Kolivatov, Zinaida Kolmogorova, Rustem Slobodin, Nikolai Thibault-Brignol, and Semyon Zolotaryov. These were not amateurs. They were the pride of Soviet youth, experienced, highly disciplined, and physically hardened. Why did they choose such a deadly path? It was the height of the Cold War, a time when humanity felt an insatiable hunger to conquer the unknown. Dyatlov's team aimed to achieve a Grade 3 certification, the absolute peak of mountain expeditions. They packed heavy wooden backpacks, cameras and journals, documenting every step. But fate intervened early. One member, Yuri Yudin, fell ill halfway through the journey and was forced to turn back. That single act of fate saved his life, leaving him the sole survivor of a team that would soon vanish into the abyss of history. But nature had other plans. Their ultimate goal, Mount Ottorn, stood as a massive frozen challenge that demanded everything from them. However, as they pushed further into the wilderness, the weather turned against them with terrifying speed. The Ural Mountains are notoriously unpredictable. Temperatures plummeted well below -30 degrees Celsius, and a massive, blinding snowstorm struck without warning. The wind grew so fierce that standing upright became a battle for survival. Disoriented by the whiteout and the freezing gale, the team was forced to veer off their intended path, seeking desperate shelter on the slope of a mountain known to the local Mansi people as Kholat Syakhl, or in chilling terms, the Mountain of the Dead. They had no idea what they were about to face. On that dark, frozen and desolate slope, they pitched their tent for the night. Outside, the wind howled like a living creature, and inside, 9 souls prepared for rest, unaware that this tent would soon become the epicenter of one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in human history. Weeks later, search teams reached the site. The tent was half buried in snow, not abandoned, but a scene of pure, inexplicable panic. The most chilling evidence? Footprints. Dozens of them, leading away from the tent into the freezing dark. The search grew desperate until the snow finally gave up its secrets. Near an ancient cedar tree, the search party found the first 2 bodies. They were shoeless, wearing only their underwear, lying near the remnants of a small fire. Deeper in the woods, inside a snow-filled ravine, the others were found. But their condition defied medical logic. Some suffered from crushed ribs and fractured skulls. Injuries so severe, experts compared them to the force of a high-speed car crash. Yet, there were no external bruises. Even more hauntingly, some were missing their tongues and eyes, their skin carrying an inexplicable orange-like hue. The investigators were paralyzed by confusion. How could 9 healthy hikers sustain such internal trauma without external impact? The mystery deepened further when forensic tests on their clothing revealed high levels of radioactive contamination, a finding that made no sense in the isolated Ural wilderness. Was it a secret government experiment that went horribly wrong, or something entirely outside the realm of human explanation? The authorities were baffled. Their files soon stamped with a chilling conclusion that left more questions than answers. With no clear answers, the world turned to theories, each more chilling than the last. But which one holds the truth? First, the infrasound theory. Experts suggest that the wind whipping through the mountain passes could have generated low-frequency sound waves. These sounds, often inaudible to humans, can cause extreme panic, chest pressure, and hallucinations, potentially forcing the hikers to flee in a fit of irrational terror. Second, the secret military testing theory. Some believe the area was used for covert weapon trials. The radiation found on the clothes and the hikers' unexplainable injuries lead many to suspect that a missile or a shockwave experiment went wrong, forcing the group to escape a zone they shouldn't have entered. And finally, the most controversial, the paranormal or alien angle. For those who find no logic in the physical evidence, the strange light orbs reported in the sky that night suggest an encounter with something non-human. Could they have stumbled upon a phenomenon that our science is not yet equipped to explain? Natural disaster, government cover-up, or the unknown? The facts are fragmented, and the truth remains buried under decades of snow and silence. Decades have passed, yet the Dyatlov Pass remains a jagged scar on the history of mountaineering, a silent monument to the fragility of human life. Was it the wind playing a deadly symphony? A government secret buried under layers of classified files? Or a force we are simply not meant to understand? The mountains may keep their secrets, but the hunger for truth never fades. What do you think happened that frozen night in 1959? Your theory might be the missing piece of this puzzle. Share it in the comments below. If you want to keep exploring the darkest, most twisted chapters of history with us, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Stay curious, stay cautious, and we'll see you in the next mystery.